All right, welcome to The Explainer. So, the 2026 World Cup, it's going to be the biggest one ever, no doubt. But guess what? It's also got the biggest price tag. Today, we're going to tear down the costs piece by piece and figure out the complexities of actually going so you can decide for yourself if this whole thing is worth it.
So, are you dreaming of being there, in the stands, watching it all go down? Well, I gotta tell you, you're gonna need more than just passion for the beautiful game this time around. This World Cup is, let's be honest, a massive logistical and financial puzzle. But don't worry, that's why we're here, to help you put the pieces together.
Okay, so check this out. For the first time ever, this thing is spread across count 'em, three countries. We're talking the USA, Canada, and Mexico. This isn't just a tournament anymore. It's a continental scale event. And believe me, that's a total game changer, especially for your wallet.
And it's not just the map that's getting bigger. Nope. The tournament itself has blown up to 48 teams. Think about that. That means more games, way more drama, and yeah, more chances to see your heroes on the pitch. And more teams? Well, that means an absolutely mind-boggling 104 matches. I mean, that's not just a schedule. It's a logistical labyrinth for any fan trying to follow the action. So the big question is, how on earth do you navigate all this? Okay, let's dive in and break it all down.
So, we've structured this explainer to walk you through every step. We'll start with the great ticket scramble, then talk about borders and visas, the crazy accommodation prices, all the travel involved, and finally, we'll put it all together in your final World Cup budget.
All right, first things first, the great ticket scramble. We've got to understand this new world of dynamic pricing and those pesky host premiums.
So what is this dynamic pricing thing anyway? Well, honestly, think about how you buy an airline ticket. The price goes up and down, right? It's the same idea. The price you see isn't fixed. It changes based on how many people want that ticket. So, a super popular match? That price is going to soar. It means you could end up paying way more for a high-demand game.
Now, take a look at these official prices. The range is just, wow. On one end, you might be able to grab a group stage ticket for as low as $60. But on the other end of the spectrum, a seat at the final could cost you more than $7,800. And listen, that's just the face value. We haven't even talked about the resale market yet.
And this right here, this shows what we're calling the host premium. It's wild. So you want to see the USA, Canada, or Mexico play in the group stage? You better be ready to pay up. We're talking about a ticket that would normally be $120, suddenly costing $715 for the exact same category of seat. It's a huge factor you've got to plan for.
Okay, so what happens if you miss out on the official ticket sale? Well, you enter the resale market. And let me tell you, it is absolutely brutal. Look at this. A ticket for the final with a face value of about $2,000 was seen listed for $25,000 just one day after it was released. That's just insane. Okay, on to our next section, navigating borders and visas. Getting your tickets is one thing, but getting into the countries, that's a whole other challenge, mostly because there's no unified fan ID like we've seen in past tournaments.
This means you have to deal with the separate rules for each country. This table kind of breaks it down for you. You're looking at different types of authorizations, different fees, and seriously different wait times. It's a lot to juggle.
And the US process in particular is a real gauntlet. Even with this new FIFA Pass system that's supposed to speed things up, look at this. It's a multi-step headache with long waits. We're talking 60 to 80 days just for an appointment. And after all that, the visa is never guaranteed. You absolutely have to start this process early.
Okay, you've got your tickets, you've got your visa. Now where are you going to stay? This brings us to the accommodation price surge, and you need to brace for impact because hotel rates are absolutely skyrocketing.
I mean, these price surges they're astronomical. Just look at Mexico City for the opening match. Mid-range hotel rates have jumped by a staggering 914%. Let me say that again. 914%. That's not a typo, it's just unbelievable.
And it's not just a one-off thing in Mexico City. Nope, look at Houston. A hotel room that normally cost you maybe $110 a night, well, during the tournament, that's projected to hit almost $710. That's a 544% jump. It's happening everywhere.
All right, let's talk about getting around. This section is planes, trains, and automobiles. Remember how we said this thing is spread across a whole continent? Well, that scale makes transportation a major part of your budget. We're talking like a quarter of your total spend. So whether it's those super expensive cross-border flights, the fact that there are pretty limited train options, or what I like to call the budget killer, those rideshare surges right near the stadiums, you have got to plan your travel carefully. Otherwise, you're going to get hit with some massive hidden costs.
So, after all that, tickets, visas, hotels, travel, what does this all actually add up to? Let's get to your final World Cup budget. We've modeled 3 different fan profiles for a 10-day trip to give you a realistic target.
For the budget-conscious fan out there, staying in hostels, buying the cheapest tickets you can find, you're still looking at a baseline of around $4,900.
Now, for what we might call the standard fan experience, decent hotels, a good mix of matches, that cost is probably going to be closer to $7,870. And for those of you looking for premium tickets and that 5-star comfort, well, your budget starts at over $18,500. And honestly, it just goes up from there.
So how do you even begin to navigate this financial gauntlet? Well, here are the most critical strategies. Seriously, listen up. Apply for your visas way in advance, like 12 to 18 months out. Start aggressively collecting airline and hotel points now. Think about using a regional basing strategy. That means staying at a cheaper nearby city and traveling in for games. And, really important, keep a liquidity buffer of maybe $1,500 ready for the knockout stages, just in case your team advances and you have to make last-minute travel plans.
Look, there's no getting around it. This is going to be the most expensive World Cup in history. So the only question left to ask is, for the love of the game, is it actually worth the price?